chance to be a little bolder. All we do, we buy and hold. There will be shittles who wanna steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold to the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedgies are dead. Panic and fear really are near, but it's not ours to own. We have shown that all we do is buy and hold. There will be shittles who wanna steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold to the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedgies are dead. So when the night's getting colder and you're needing that shoulder, these apes got your back. We got each other. 'Cause all we do is we buy and hold.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds from the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Stress on the shuttle as it breaks through the
Solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward leg now at S10.
Okay, you sound good.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Copy, a negative return.
Good morning, you filthy apes. Welcome to AMC with KC, where we buy, we hold, and we screw those edges. Screw them! That's right. This is where I like to fling poo and eat crowns for breakfast. Rock strong. Good morning, guys. The title for the day today is We Didn't Start the Fire, Burn, Baby Burn. Last night on Twitter, I posted out a picture as soon as I started seeing it. And yes, it was looking really, 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 really nasty for our futures in the market. We are at a pivotal moment right here. And it happens to be, what is it, beer or something toast day today? Guess what? We have 31,000 shares in volume so far this morning. If you've been around for like the last 3 days, you know what it's been like in the morning. Like yesterday morning, we had like 6,000 shares traded by this time. We're way over that. We're like almost 6 times that amount of volume this morning. So we're seeing some extremely large quantities of volume. I kind of saw what Nelly and Stash the Sports Talk said. He said, Casey gave us a double music. Oh, no, that's not the one I was looking for. Where did he say it? Hold on a second. Let me scroll back up here. I got to scroll up. He said, there it is. We've got ourselves an uptick in volume this morning. Could be the beginning of some violent movement with after-hour earnings coming this evening. Could be even during the day as well. I would imagine. This seems fully plausible. I can't imagine that they're going to want to see price moving up a whole lot. Oh my gosh, we just spiked volume again. 52,000 shares, guys. 52,000 shares traded so far. It just went back up some more. But yeah, so we're seeing some large quantities of volume here. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready to rumble. All right, my glasses are clean. I'm ready to look at some numbers. Hope you guys appreciated the doubleheader this morning in songs. Kind of felt like it was only appropriate. Let's do this. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got going on. I'm excited. It's a kind of cool day today. I'm going to take you guys over the other page here. I'm not going to be able to see what it is that you guys are writing, so hold those personal thoughts, comments, questions, concerns until you see the big tramp back up on the screen again. 2-factor authentication. If you don't have it, you may want to consider getting it, as it could prevent somebody from getting into your account that shouldn't be in your account. When you set that up, if you set that up, if your broker allows you to put in a secondary device to be able to receive that access code, you might want to do that, as you never know when something's going to happen to your primary device. Last but not least, please, so important, make sure you get a statement of your portfolio from your broker or brokers anytime your position changes. You need to know how much it is that you hold at all times, and don't place that upon your broker to be able to feed you that information. So it's upon you to need to be able to know what it is that you have. So please get that information. It's only usually a couple clicks on a computer or phone to get that information sent to you via email, and print out a copy. Have a hard copy printout of that, because you need to have that information for yourself. All right, let's do this. Starting in the top left-hand side, price prediction tally points. Nobody hit right on the nose yesterday, but we had some close people. I think 3 days now. Tech hit once on Monday, and then he was like within 7 pennies or something like that the next day. Then 2 pennies, and then yesterday he was off by 2 pennies. So, Tech has just been nailing it this week. Just crazy nailing it. The crazy part about most of this is that I think I think he kept his price prediction the same the first 3 days and then changed it yesterday. So it's just crazy. He's really on it right now. But nobody got any extra bonus points yesterday, because nobody had a unique price prediction other than Nana. But she had 491 to 591, so there's no chance there for an extra point. So I'm going to add up all these points. As far as I can tell, the only way that Tech can lose going into today is if somebody nails the price prediction right on the head. That's the only way that he would end up losing. So it's his to lose. Ours to win. All right, there we go. Short exempt volume. We had, how much volume did we have yesterday? Well, how much volume did we have? Let me update that real quick here. Short exempt volume in total came out to 251.6 thousand. So I'm just going to put 251 in here. We'll get rid of the 103 because it was not over 300. And we were down 3.58% yesterday. Utilization came down a little bit. Utilization dropped from that 83.25 down to 82.28. Which we saw a bunch of shares being returned yesterday, right? And we saw a lot of them being borrowed. So there was a big push on returning and borrowing of shares yesterday. We saw it. We'll go over the numbers here in just a minute, but we should have expected that was probably coming. The total amount of volume was very, very similar to what we had the previous 2 days. We had 14.6 on Wednesday. Thursday we had 14. No, I'm sorry, Tuesday. Wednesday we had 14.7, and then yesterday we had 14.1. So we had 3 days in a row where we had almost identical volume. And then actually on Tuesday as well, we had 13.6 million. I'm sorry, Monday, 13.6. So I mean, this whole week so far has been within just about 1 million shares apart in volume. So super low volume this week. And considering the fact that our average 3-month volume is 60.34 million shares, we've had some super low volume. And we've been seeing that in short exempt volume being low too. All right, let's take a look and see what we got going on here for the day today with the rest of the data. Max Pain. I do not expect that to change. I think it's still going to be $5. I don't expect any difference. Indeed, it is. GME's Max Pain yesterday had dropped down to 23.50 from 24, and they closed out yesterday at 21.71. I actually think that there's a chance here that Max Pain drops from 23.50 down to 22.50. Let's give it a refresh. Normally I would probably only do like a 50-cent increment, but they had a pretty big drop yesterday, so I'm gonna guess 22.50. Oh, it only dropped to 23. So $23 is Max Pain for GME. AMC is $5. Moving on. Volume, exchange traded volume. Actually, first let's look at borrowing shares. Oh, yeah, we'll look at exchange traded volume first. Exchange traded volume. Yesterday, normal day at the end of the day, I would expect to see about 64% of our volume going through these exchanges. We had 56.96% going through off exchange. EDGX is 9.25 for a grand total 66.21%, or 2.21% higher than I would have expected. So we should have had a little bit better price close yesterday than what we had. But they utilized those off exchanges a little bit more than usual. CHX volume is 807 shares, nothing unusual there. GME's CHX volume 3,152 shares, also nothing unusual. Borrow fees and shares available to borrow. Yesterday in total, we witnessed about 1.65 million shares borrowed out of IBKR. In the later portion of last night, there was additional 200,000 shares around 2045 that was borrowed out. I'm going to include that as today's borrowings. I know that's not past midnight, but once at 2045, the day's over. So there was 200,000 shares borrowed in the wee hours of the morning, and then earlier this morning at 5:45. I said wee hours of this morning. Late hours of last night. There was another 100,000 shares borrowed at 5:45, and then an additional 800,000 shares borrowed at 7:15 this morning. So in total, we're looking at, let's see, 2, 3 plus 8, right? 1.1 million shares. And yesterday it was 1.65. So we're already up there on shares being borrowed. Fees are currently back up to 4% now. Rebate dropping back down to 1.32. We'll take a look at GMEs real quick here. GME had Yesterday, when they closed out the day, they had about 3.6 or 2. No, they had 3.2 million shares. Somebody borrowed all but they borrowed 600,000 shares late last night. There's another 700, 800 returned some shares. 900,000. 1.1, exactly the same thing as AMC. 1.1 million shares borrowed so far overnight. There is 2.9 million available. Fees are pretty low at 0.38 and rebates 4.94. Moving on. Institutional ownership showing up at 87.962 million shares yesterday. Let's look and see what it is today. 88.231 million shares owned by institutions. 88.231. Options. Since it's the first look through for the day today, I'm gonna take you guys over to the other screen. I'm gonna move a bunch of screens around, and we'll take a look at the rest of the data. Burning down the house. Oh man, the market looks so trashy this morning, guys. So trashy. We are talking trailer park trashy here. It's a crazy looking thing. All right, let's see what we got going on. Let's move this. Move that. Vortex, and then options. All right, here we go. Starting with the options on AMC. Yesterday, in open interest. In open interest yesterday, we had approximately, let's see here, what do I have written down? At a $5.50 strike, we had 29.8 thousand contracts. We now have 28.4 thousand contracts. And so that was a decrease in contracts that were open, right? And this is exactly what I was telling you guys yesterday is that with a bunch of call contract, with the week, with week coming to a close, there's going to be call contracts that want to get out of their positions, especially like $5 call contracts were probably closing a lot yesterday. I didn't see what it was before I updated it, but those were probably closing out like crazy, especially as price was starting to come down. They're like, well, I'm in the money, but it's not that great. And then, of course, they're going to want to get out of their positions before the end of the week, and that's going to cause a bearish signal. So you're going to see the price start dropping a little bit. So we had a little bit of closing of positions on long calls. And then on put side of things, the highest amount of puts was at a $4.50 strike. There was 12.8 thousand contracts yesterday at 4.5. There's now 12.5. So some of those closed out as well, but not nearly as much as the calls did. So you had a little bit of a balancing out there a little bit, not too much. And that's probably why price didn't move from, what we had closed at before, 531 all the way down to $5. We only went down half the distance, or a little more than half the distance. So yeah, the market's still suggesting a closing price of around $5 by the end of the day today. Based off of what I'm seeing from this open interest. Let me scroll through the open interest that's set up on next week and the week after, just for historical documenting purposes. That way we can look back at those at any given point, should we desire to see what happened or what transpired day over day. And then let's take a look at GME's numbers real quick here. Highest amount of open interest closest to the current strike price is going to be right at a $22 strike, right where it's at right now, or just underneath. $22 is 6.5 thousand contracts. Highest amount of put volume also at a $22 strike with 4.9 thousand contracts. So the market's kind of signaling for like a 22 close on the options right now. However, max pain, remember, is what did we say? 23.50? Hold on a second here. I'm looking. It was 23. So the max pain is a full dollar higher than where prices, where the options chain is suggesting price is going to close at by the end of the day today. Let's go ahead and scroll through the list here on the option contracts for this week and the following 2 weeks. I've been seeing some reports that some new option contracts were created across the board for like the entire market on both the up and downside for today. And as I look at this right now, I don't see anything that was created. There might have been, some positions that were created here for. Let's look here. Yeah, there might. These would have had to have been open before yesterday, so I don't know. I'm not seeing anything different there. I don't see anything on the long side, so nothing crazy new. Let's go back to AMC and look at that because I do want to check it real quickly here. Because most of these call contracts and put contracts on either side of the strike have open interest there already. So it doesn't really look like anything new got opened. So at least not for these. But somebody, I read somewhere that somebody was suggesting that some positions had been opened, some strike prices had been opened on both the long and short side of where, on each individual stock ticker. I'm not seeing it here on AMC or GME because I see open interest on everything. It'd be interesting to pull up something else and just kind of check it to see and verify. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what somebody was reporting. All right, moving on. Let's see what these numbers look like. Utilization. Here's our utilization dropping day over day from 83.25 to 82.28. The on-loan amount decreasing yesterday from 105.63 million to 102.97. Let me get out a calculator. I'm not mathing this morning. 2.66 million shares returned yesterday. Usually Ortex estimates about a third of that to be in short interest that was closed out. So let's see. Let's see what they're putting in here for a number. They're suggesting that the amount of short interest, the estimated amount of short interest that was open was 60.3 million shares as of yesterday, and then dropped down to 59.67. So we're looking at 630,000 shares returned yesterday in short interest. That is not 1/3 of 2.6. Not even close. So they're suggesting most of it was just loaned positions that were returned yesterday, and not necessarily short interest. That means that our estimated short interest of the free float is going to drop a little bit. So it went from 16.44 down to 16.26. And then the on-loan average age per day is rising. And it's rising in such a fashion that would cause me to believe that there were more newer positions that were closed out than older, as our on-loan average age per day went up quite a bit here from 25.59 to 27.09. Security lending volume day over day increased from 2.83 million to 7.1. Let's take a look at GMEs. Utilization on GME dropping from 31.02 to 29.65. The on-loan amount on GME also dropping from 29.8 million shares to 28.4. That's usually going to cause the estimated short-term interest of the free float to drop, which it did from 10.2 to 10.11. The on-loan average age per day looks like mainly newer positions were closed out as it went driving up from 27.93 to 29.87. Security lending volume day over day did drop from 8.0, no, that's right, 6.27 down to 2.76. SSR trigger price for AMC for the day today is at $4.61. There's currently 123.2 thousand contracts out of the money on the calls versus 11,000 contracts that are in the money. 29,000 contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 6.4 thousand contracts that are in the money. Do note that option contracts for the next 3 weeks, actually next week's small. The week after that's actually kind of larger, and then the 3 weeks after that are super, super low contracts open right now. And then after that, 920 is going to be our quad witching, which is going to be, it's stacked. Stacked. Taking a look at GME, the SSR trigger price for the day today is $19.54 for GME. Currently 119,000 contracts out of the money on the calls versus 2.7 thousand contracts that are in the money. 14.4 thousand contracts are out of the money on the puts versus 30.6 thousand contracts that are in the money. Option contracts are kind of stacked a little bit right now for the next 2 weeks out. Not as much next week, but more so the week after. And then again, also on GME, we've got 823 and 830s showing as very, very light. We don't see the first week of September showing up on here just yet, but I think it already exists. It's just that Stonko Tracker is not reporting it. I'm pretty sure it already exists. Orders by Fidelity customers. AMC and GME are the only two I'm looking for on this list. Neither of which are on there. We've got higher amounts of volume today, and so I would imagine maybe there's a good chance that we'll end up seeing some of our tickers on there. MMRI yesterday, when we closed out the day, was 258.16. This morning it's 254.66. We've been watching this number, the risk indicator here, dropping like a rock. Risk off, flame on. Risk off, flame on. Let's see here. What do we have for the spread between the 2-year and 10-year? Yesterday we started out the day, it was 0.231 on the spread between the 2-year and 10-year, and we ended the day at 0.189. So a big, big drop in the difference on the spread there. And you can see that the 2 years separated itself even further away from the 30-year, which is up on the screen. There's that baby blue color. So the 2 years currently at 4.129, and the 10-year is at 3.94. The spread right now is 0.189 to start the day. That's exactly where we finished out the day yesterday. All right, now to the meat. The meat of the fire. 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 He's crazy, that guy. Let's see. VIX showing 8.38% up overnight, which is going to make the market look like trash. The futures on the VIX are showing 1893 for a future on the VIX. We closed out the VIX yesterday at 1859. So the futures are suggesting an upwards momentum move at market open. And we can just kind of take a look here at some of the things that were down last night. The Nikkei was down 3% last night. Hang Seng down 2.09% last night. Oh my gosh, man! Just fire everywhere you look. The Nifty 50 down 1.33. Depending on what you're looking at for our markets this morning, we could be looking at things down as much as right off the get-go, like right off the get-go, right out of the gates. We're looking at like down anywhere from 0.85 to 1.79. It's looking so nasty. This is gonna be fire for sure today. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Let's see here. Let's start with the Mag 7. Mag 7 in the pre-market this morning, all red. There's nothing in here. It's not getting touched right now. Who touched you? Financial institutions this morning, anything that has changed more than 2.5% in the pre-market is going to get a shout out. Here we go. Let's go through them. What has, okay, there's actually really not that much yet that's 2.5% down yet. Yet. Yep, I'm not reading anything off. I thought for sure I was going to be reading through some stuff. Gold. Gold is currently up 0.59, but trending down as of right now. Silver's up 1.23, consolidating after a trend up. Ethereum Classic is down 0.23 and is trending up after hitting what appears to be a near-term bottom at 20.81. Let's zoom out just a tad bit on this and see where it's at. It did break that level of resistance. I don't know when, probably earlier this morning around 4 o'clock or so. And it's right now it's just consolidating where it's at, but it has not taken that drive up yet. The US dollar is currently down 0.35 and trending down. That usually means the market's going to be up. SPY is down 1.0. It better hope so. SPY is currently down at market open this morning. It gapped down, trended down a little bit further, and now is currently consolidating. Tesla this morning is down 0.88, gapped down at pre-market open, and then trended up really strongly for a little bit, and then started trending back down again. So opening up, or right now it's currently right about where it opened up at on the gap down at pre-market open. So Amazon down 8.34% after, I guess, last night was earnings, right? Yeah, I think it was last night was earnings, gapping down and maybe a very slight trend up off of a bottom of 167.08. Cinemark in the pre-market this morning is up 3.16 after 1,630 shares traded this morning so far. So that's enough shares to suggest that it's on a trend up. Doge is down 0.37, trending up. Bitcoin is up 0.19, trending up. GME is down 2.72 in the pre-market, gap down at pre-market open, and trended down after that, and then is now starting to trend up. HYMC is down has not yet traded. NCMI has not yet traded. Hood is down 1.43, gap down in pre-market open, has been trending up ever since. AMC is down 0.2. We trended down at pre-market open, and we recovered most of everything that it trended down on. It went down to as low as 497 in the pre-market this morning, and then started trending back up. So we're at 57,000 shares traded so far, with about 7 minutes left to go before we hit our pokey stick of volume. That'll be real fun to see. Volume prediction today is going to be interesting. Inflow versus outflow from yesterday. We had approximately $2.9 million more outflow than inflow. Like I said, 57,000 shares traded so far. 4-hour time interval. We did break out of an ascending parallel channel that I had set up here. That was about a 4 or 5 day long parallel channel. So that's to be expected. We did break out of that. And as it stands right now, I don't have a setup for where I think this is heading towards. What we do want to see have happen, though, is if there's going to be a continuous downwards movement on AMC at any given point going forward, we want to see this level of support being held here. And so by the end of the day today, let me draw this out just a tad bit different. By the end of today, we don't want to see price dropping any lower than like 465. Just to throw this out there, 461 is SSR trigger. So if they're going to shoot for a 10% down day today, today would probably, this is where the level of support lines up with a synthetic price failure reset, or not. Well, it would be a synthetic price failure trip. Is it? No, it's not. 438 is our synthetic price failure. So it would not be a synthetic price failure, but it would trip SSR getting down to that price at 461. So we want to see at least a hold at 461 if we're going to move down. Now, with the larger amount of volume that we're having today so far, I would like to see upwards momentum because we don't want to see large volume and falling price. That's usually a bearish sign. So we'll watch. We'll continue to watch out for that. But 461 is we want to hold 460 if at all possible. Let's take a look at some of these other time intervals here. 4-hour time interval, there's more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI 44.43, which is slightly below average. On a 1-hour time interval, more equal amounts of buying and selling pressure with an RSI of 43.51, which is slightly below average. On a 30-minute time interval, there's more buying pressure than selling pressure with a divergence on the vortex indicator currently occurring in RSI at 46.38, which is slightly below average. And on a 5-minute time interval, more selling pressure than buying pressure with an RSI of 58.37, which is above average. On a 1-hour time interval for Ichimoto, there's our drop. I warned you guys that there was a chance that we were going to see a quick spike in volume. On the 1 hour, the 1 hour chart was suggesting that we would see a fall through the green, and then a quick spike up in price, continued by a price that probably stays below the green here. I thought this might have been the spike in price yesterday, but I'm starting to think that maybe it's going to be today somewhere. Some kind of quick spike up in price and then coming back down again. That's kind of what this chart's looking like right now. If we were to close out the day anywhere in the range of 510 to 520, if we can close out the day somewhere between 510 and 520, it's a great setup for going into Monday and seeing a nice, beautiful breakout going up north through a red cloud. It would be even more bullish if we can close obviously higher. Lagging line is below price line, conversion is below base. To turn this into a buy signal for the day today, the price would have to move up to 545 or better. Got to get that lagging line above price line. So 545, it was 540 yesterday. This has been creeping up on the 1 hour chart. It's been creeping up, but it's going to go down after today. Monday we'll be seeing some lower values that will trigger some buying pressure. So 545 is the magic number on the 1 hour. And remember, the 4 hours in disagreement about which way price was going to move, and it's looking like the 4 hours is going to end up being wrong here. You don't typically see price moving down through red clouds. It's not very often that happens, and when it does, it's super bearish. Lagging lines all over price line, conversions right on top of base, and price is moving into a point of uncertainty. So it's not necessarily stating that it's going to break down through this cloud here, but it is a point of uncertainty where investors should be cautious about making trades because it could come bouncing up or it could continue to drive down further. Definitely in a zone of mystery right now. So now the 4 hour chart's a little bit opposite of what the 1 hour chart's showing, because it's got red cloud followed by a little sliver of green followed by red. So what we might see here is a quick spike up in price followed by a quick downturn. I'm sorry, other way around. A quick downturn in price, followed by a run up back in price. So the exact opposite of what I think the 1 hour chart was saying, right? 1 hour chart, quick spike up, and then some downwards momentum afterwards. So the 4 hour and the 1 hour are in disagreement about which way price is going to move here. But they both are signaling for the price that would need to be hit to create a buying or a buying signal. Let me see. For today is going to be right around $5.30 for the 4 hour. So they're pretty close to being in agreement. The 4 hour chart says anything above 530 is a buy, and the 1 hour 545. What's next? Is that it? We had some news last night on a filing, and we had a 13G, I think, that was filed out for some shares I haven't really read through it completely. I haven't analyzed it intensely yet to figure out what it's all about. I know some people are suggesting that it has to do with convertible notes that may have been converted. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I haven't really dived into it too much, so I don't know for sure. Also, last night we had somebody had tagged me on a notice from the DTCC that had been posted out, and I'll quickly read this. Give me 1 second here. Let me find it. No. Since I got you guys already on this page, I think this is it right here. Some of you guys may have seen this last night. We had a DTCC important notice, obligation warehouse, exclusion of options, clearing corporation, trade for trade, balance order from recaps. And I went through and read this and tried to make some sense of it in my own mind, which took me some time because I had to read this like over and over and over and over and over and over before it finally sank in. And so this is what I wrote in response to it. I said, I'm not an expert in notices like this, but it sounds like somebody wants to avoid recaps to keep the settlement parties the same to expedite settlement process. I guess if they're mandated to deliver by a certain date, including the recaps as part of the settlement process, it would likely increase the amount of time for the settlement process. Or I actually wrote, process might delay the settlements. Perhaps a complex settlement of exercise positions is about to happen. So it is the DTCC notice does not state who. It just says that. Let me read the part to you that kind of agrees with what it is that I wrote there. An OCC TFT balance order is from a trade submitted by the OCC to the, actually this part I think I want to read to you is right here. Additionally, the system change will prohibit an OCC TFT or balance order from being included in the recaps process. Further details are below. The recaps process, let me try to describe it. And again, I'm not an expert on this, but the recaps process, when you have the NSCC facilitating or helping two different settlement parties trying to complete settlements, say somebody exercises a position and a settlement has to occur, the NSC will step in and they have, what does it stand for? I always forget what, reconfirmation and pricing service as recaps. So basically what they do is they confirm everything. Imagine if you had like a banking transaction that went through somewhere and there was some kind of system that normally would verify everything and check it twice and make sure that the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. That's the recaps. And so essentially what the DTCC is saying here is they're saying like, okay guys, we see that there's going to be some kind of problem coming forward with a large settlement that needs to occur between two different parties. We're going to remove the NSCC as an intermediary to try and expedite the process of having the settlement go through. And that's what it says down here. It says for option. Let's see. An OCC TFT balance order is from a trade submitted by the OCC to NSCC for option exercise and assignment activity in a security that is either 1, not continuous net settlement eligible, or 2, CNS eligible but undergoing a voluntary corporate action being supported in CNS. The OCC maintains the guarantee on the trade submitted to the NSCC until the two counterparties confirm to the OCC that the balance order has settled. By excluding an OCC TFT balance order from the recaps, it ensures the counterparties to the original OCC submitted trade always remain the same. So they're saying like we're gonna stamp approval on this, and even though it's not going to go through our systems that normally double checks and verifies everything, to expedite it through, is what it looks like to me. So I think some people were suggesting that this was going to. I saw all kinds of crazy comments on this. Some people were suggesting that this meant that they were going to be able to like freely. I think it was even the person who originally posted it. Unlimited FTDs on shares being delivered for exercised option contracts starting tomorrow. That's not at all what this is saying. So I'm not sure how they came up with that at all. I don't even understand how they got to that conclusion. But yeah, to me it looks more like the settlements are occurring. It's just that they're taking out a system check to verify that everything's in order to make sure that the two parties who have to settle are settling in an expedited period of time. Maybe they're due today, right? Like maybe they have to have this completed, and the amount of shares that have to be delivered on settlement is so large that they can't make the order go through if they were to use the recaps. That would be my guess, my best guess. Again, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but I'm trying to make sense and heads and tails of it, and that's what I'm seeing. Anyways, there's that. I spent more time on that last night when that first came out. And then when I'd gotten off the computer, and then I saw somebody, had posted or tweeted out that the 13G had been filed. And I was like, I'm done. I was done for the day. I was like, I'm not looking at that. Let's see here. I see a bunch of people saying I love trashy. Hero of the day, Casey. Good morning, and thank you for updating us. We are together. Yes, we are. Good morning, everybody else. Let's see. Brian's saying Intel's down 22% this morning. Oh, we got our Pokey Stick of volume. 96,000 shares. That put us at 158,000 shares roughly. A little bit less than that because I didn't catch it right on time, but we're at 158,000 shares now. Maybe it was like 150. That's not too incredibly high as I thought it was going to be, but the fact is that the majority of the volume didn't come from our Pokey Stick. It actually came from current day trading, current trades that were going through in the pre-market prior to the Pokey Stick. So my volume prediction would normally be 10 to 30 million with this kind of volume. However, I'm going to increase my volume prediction just a smidgen because I don't think that we're going to be seeing a 10 million share trade a day. I'm pretty sure we'll be over 15 million for sure. So I'm going to go 15 to 35 million shares traded today. But I will reserve the right to change that about 15 minutes before market open. And I'll check that very first thing. By the way, guys, I'm not going on break today. I know normally I break from 7:30 to 8:15, and then we do price predictions and all that kind of good stuff. But as I had stated yesterday, at the end of the day yesterday, my family and I are going to go down to Schlitterbahn and enjoy a day at the water park. And so I'm going to be taking off a little bit early. I will probably, after market open, close this down. We'll probably call it a market open close. So, yeah. It's going to be a fun burn today. I'm sure of it. Amazing Bluetooth says, didn't the CAS system go in effect on July 31st? Crazy the market's dumping at the same time. Tyler says Ryan Cohen removed the pronouns from his Twitter bio. Loretta, thank you. It's good to be back, and I'm so much. I feel so much better. I tell you what, though, I definitely feel like it's taking a toll on me going through the entire day. I'm so tired at the end of the day. But I'm not being a wuss. I'm pushing through. Trying not to be a wuss. Let me head over to the back of the big tramp. Let's see here. I'm in the back of the big tramp. Anybody who wants to show up, you're more than welcome. Roadster Guy says earnings on International Beer Day, maybe an announcement on alcohol. Fine. What? An announcement on alcohol? Why would we? I don't. Why would we have an announcement on that? Are we waiting on an announcement on alcohol? I didn't know we were. Roseanne says that is what happened yesterday. Was that? Are you saying that the DTCC filing? It was for July. The date on that was June 27th. Oh, that was a while ago. I didn't even notice. I guess I didn't. I completely looked past that. That notice was from June 27th. That's so long ago. It's not even funny. I don't know why people are freaking out about it. But it does say on Friday, August 2nd, though. In the notice, it says on Friday, August 2nd. In the notice. So this is the notice. Interesting that they knew that was going to happen that far in advance, right? June 27th was the date that this notice was filed, but the title for it here is, or the first portion of this says on Friday, August 2nd, 2024. So it's happening today. But they knew about this back on before June 27th because they filed it on June 27th, knowing that this was coming. Yunhua, happy birthday to your son. Richard, I don't know if Papa Mac's going to stream or not. I did let him know that I was going to be taking off, but I don't know for sure. I know he had some stuff going on with family too, so I can't speak for him. Roseanne says, Casey, since Adam Aaron announced his earnings report early, I'm figuring it will be a regular day in the neighborhood. I don't think it's going to be a regular day in the neighborhood. Only because we are seeing some massive numbers happening right now in the marketplace. Audio Tits, good morning to you. We had, for example, VIX futures are showing up 1.36% in the from overnight and putting it at 18.83. And the VIX is already, we closed out 1859. So typically speaking, that usually means that the VIX is going to jump up. And if it does jump up like I'm expecting, there's a very good chance that we see an amazing burn in the market this morning. Dario, I just got done talking about it. Let's go back a little bit in the stream. Uh, 7:14. Let's see here. Da-da. Roseanne says, I remember when the VIX was 6. Let's look at it real quick. Because, yeah. I feel like this is like a moment where we can look back on this and be like, I remember when. So big spikes here on the VIX, right? So we've seen the VIX constantly getting crushed like this back here, where it suddenly there's a couple of significant breaking points. 16, 19, and 35 are all significant breaking points and signify major volatility in the marketplace incoming, right? So and remember that this one of the things that's really important to remember about the VIX is that the market reacts. It's like oil. You know how, have you ever heard about like the pricing on oil? Like the gas prices at the pump change immediately when the crude oil prices change. When in actuality, the crude oil prices are ahead of time, meaning that's actually what the price of crude oil is actually being purchased for, and it should not reflect on the gas pump prices until a much later date. And in so many aspects, the VIX is a lot like that, where it reports, it's supposed to be a forward-looking 30-day volatility fear index, right? And so, but what ends up happening is the market reacts before that even it reacts with the VIX as it's happening, even though it's a forward-looking supposed to be a forward-looking indicator. Now, there's some reasons why that may not necessarily be as much of the case as it used to be, but and I don't really want to get into all of it, but it has to do with 0-day expiring contract option contracts. But let's not get into that. It's a big story. But you can see here that there's been a crush on VIX every time it hits one of these significant points of breakthrough at 16 and 19. It got crushed back in April. It tried to break 16 and got crushed back down, and then did still break 16, got up to 19, and they crushed it right back down again. Every time it tried to spike, it just kept on crushing it back down, all the way back down to 11.84, to where it just kind of hovered around 11, somewhere between 11 and 13 for quite a while. And then it started taking off again and doing the same exact thing as it did back here. Now I'm waiting to see the break past 19, because I don't specifically believe that until I see it break past 19, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, doom and gloom in the marketplace, because we've seen time and time and again for them crushing back this VIX back down again and nothing happening. So, but I do want to note here that you can see that I've got a couple different lines in here that signify levels of resistance of the VIX breaking up here. Now, the VIX is not necessarily like you shouldn't see this as like a price, like 1859. It's not really a price. It's a value. It's a point value system for how the VIX is calculated based off of options and the volatility that's happening with them. But you can see that I've got some resistance points in here, and if it does break past 19 and makes it past this resistance line right here, we could have something significantly unique happening. Now, this point back here, this point of resistance was created. The start of it was created on March of 2023. It found a top, and you can see I actually didn't even use this as my secondary touching point. I actually used this one down here. So this is a pretty long indicator here. Now, what's this other one? What is going on with this other one? Where does that resistance line come from? And this comes all the way back to 125 of 22. So January of 2022. You can see there's multiple points in here that are touching this as VIX was getting crushed down, where it did break past 35. Now, 35 is a very significant number. If the VIX breaks past 35, all hell's going to break loose. And I'm not just talking about little tiny touches like this in here. Right? This is okay. Little tiny touches like that, that's fine. But when you get something like this, yeah, it's over. That's done. The market's toast. All right? Those are the kind of things. Now here you can see here again, it's all just a bunch of candle wicks that break above 35, but never really being an actual candle that breaks above it like it was over here. This is what I'm looking for. And so you can see here that we've got this level of resistance as the VIX has been crushed down further and further and further, and we're about ready to break that January 2022 level of resistance that's been holding pretty good. So to see a convergence of VIX starting to spike, that very long-held level of resistance all meeting up at right around 19 could mean that this is going to get that break past 19 that's going to be really, really strong. the question really becomes, when do we break past 35? And I don't know the answer to that, but you can tell from the past historicals on every time where VIX has crossed through 35. Once it gets past 19, it can move very, very quickly, right? Like we're talking about the time here. I'm on a what am I on, a daily chart? Yeah, I'm on a daily chart here. So each one of these candles is a day. So it really didn't take much more than a week after it broke past 19 to get past 35. So if we see a break past 19, a hard break past 19 today, we could be looking at like less than a week for a market meltdown. We can go back further. We can look back at further periods of time. This is 2011 here. Market didn't do so hot during that period of time. It didn't have a complete meltdown, but here is 2008. When it did break past 19, it actually kind of maintained a movement for quite a while between 19 and 35, which is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with moving between 19 and 35. But when it did start taking off, it moved pretty significantly, and it didn't take more than 4 weeks. 4 weeks to get past 35, and once it got past 35, it was done. Which happened to be September, the end of September of 2008. Going back even further, we can look at 2001. Maybe not. Yes, we can. 2001 wasn't so bad. It broke past 35 and didn't really go too high. Got to about 49.35. But we all know what happened during the dot-com bubble, and it wasn't pretty. So VIX doesn't have to go that high above 35 in order for it to be an event. So yeah, good times. We'll see what ends up happening today. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I know the VIX is looking super, super hot this morning going into market open. So if we see this driving above 19, it's going to, if it drives solidly above 19 and holds there, let's just say like maybe 25, we might be able to set a watch to it and say like, okay, maybe somewhere between 1 and 3 weeks from now, if it breaks past 35 at any given point, look out. Yeah, I know it's already got it over. Buzzin says, anyone else VIX above 20 already? Trading View has it over. I know it's going to be. I know just based off of what I'm seeing overnight on the VIX, the overnight position on the VIX, let me just pull this up here real quick. Overnight on the VIX, come on. There we go. Right here. Change 8.09% up in increase. I can't remember seeing this before. Not anytime recently, I mean. 8.09% increase in VIX. You're looking at like, there's a formula for this. I want to say it's like for every 0.3, I can't remember what the formula is. There's a formula for this. For every percentage point above or below where it's at. I think it's a theoretically the market should move by is it 1% equals 0.3 on the market, I think. So if you're looking at 8%, you're looking at like a 1.6 to 2% drop, I guess, in the marketplace. That's significant, right? I mean, that's pretty hefty. There is a formula for that. You can go look it up. But it's nasty. That is a nasty, sick move, and that's overnight. So something's happening, for sure. Faux show. And you know what else we should be looking at? while we're at this. And I still put it down. I still put it down. I still think there's going to be a later this month. There's going to be an emergency rate cut. I still think that's going to happen. I know they're not supposed to meet again until September, but I think there's going to be an emergency rate cut at some point. Just my spider senses kicking in. As it stands right now, there is a 70 point. Oh, this dropped. Why did it drop? Oh, I know. I see why it dropped. Holy crap, guys. Okay, I did not expect this. We had like almost a 90% chance at seeing a 25 basis point cut in September. The reason it's no longer almost 90% chance of seeing a 25 basis point drop is because the 50 point basis drop is actually gaining the probability of hitting a 50 point basis drop or reduction. There's like a 29.5% chance now. This is increasing. The idea that if they continue to wait into September that they can only drop 25 is diminishing. They might have to drop at 50 basis points if things continue to work out the way that they are. This is why I'm saying I think in the later portion of August they come in and they do an emergency meeting drop by 25 basis points because I don't think they're going to want to drop 50 basis points in September. I just don't think they're going to want to do that. And then November's got a November's got a prediction of 50 basis point drop, 64.5% chance. December has a 56.5% chance of a drop to 0.75% point, 75 basis points. We're looking, and the numbers below that are dropping. The rates even lower than that are actually stacking. I mean, there's some numbers in here that are suggesting it could drop as much as from 5.25 to 550 to 375 to 400. I mean, they're actually projecting for some really, really low cuts. So I mean, it is looking nasty, guys. It's looking super, super dirty and nasty. I still think emergency meeting. I just feel it in my tenders. I feel it in my tenders. Tammy, it's good to feel better too. Trust me. Oil that is black gold Texas tea. My wife, that's her favorite. Texas tea is her favorite. I think that's the name of this slot machine. That's her favorite Vegas slot machine. They're getting harder and harder to find these days. Moonlit Rift says, wouldn't it be 2.4% or no? I eat crayons, by the way. I can't remember what I used to. I'm getting old, man. Moonlit, and you might be right. There's a formula for like for every 1% that the VIX moves, there's like a formula on how much the market's supposed to move by. You might be right. I need to go look it up again because I can't remember off the top of my head. But I feel like 1% equals like somewhere between like 0.1 and 0.3 or something like that. Maybe it's like point. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long. Roseanne says, according to the news, there will be 3 interest rate drops over the next months. Yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. I think there's going to be at least 325 basis point cuts, but I think they're going to want to start earlier than September. I think they're going to have, like I said, I think they're going to come in and do that emergency meeting and drop at 25 in August. There is precedence for them doing emergency meetings, and it's usually before a market absolutely fails. And if you consider the fact that that they would do it, that they would drop interest rates before an election happens. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yunwas Steven says, isn't nasty drops in markets good for Amy? It should be. Yes. Morning, El Doge. Roseanne, have a safe trip. Enjoy your time. Be careful. Be willing to change your plans on a moment's notice. And damn it, make sure you have an internet connection at all times. You might need to invest in a, what do they call it? VPN. You might need to get a VPN for while you're over abroad. Consider that. Look into that. You might want to look into that before you go. And I'm glad your knee feels better. Casey, I just DM'd you on Discord. I found a tentative auction schedule of the U.S. Treasury securities. Hey, Yukon, also to let you know, the 5 different solo tracks of buy and hold were put in Casey's projects on Discord. So if you need any help finding those, let me know. But I did put the individual tracks of all. There's 5 individual tracks that make up buy and hold. So have at it. Hazel says, hi, Casey. When the market fails is when AMC goes up, or are we going down too? There's a chance that we will see AMC initially trend down with the market, but at some point the margin calls will start rolling in, and then we'll start moving. We'll move inverse to the rest of the market. We'll be negative. Negative beta to the market. Jay, I'm not going to go to break today because I'm leaving early, so I'm going to hold off on going to break. I'm going to push on through here. Leaving real early this morning. Payroll numbers came in low. 114K versus 170K expected. Wow. And just make sure you guys have internet connection wherever you go. You'll be fine. Oh, I won't have any service. I'm going to be in the middle of the woods in a cabin. You might want to invest short term into... I just forgot the name of the Tesla, or not Tesla, but the internet connection through Elon's service, whatever it's called, Starlink. You might want to look into Starlink as a possibility for a month. They'll probably lock you in something longer than that, but might be worth it. And Starlink covers everything. I think that the map on the U.S. that's covered now on Starlink I think there's only like 2 spots that aren't covered now. You're welcome. It's going to be pricey. I don't know how much you can spend on that, but I don't know if they lock you. I'm not sure if they lock you into a 1-year contract. I haven't used Starlink at all. Let me see here. You may terminate the service at any time via the customer portal, in which case we'll provide you with the refund of any fees you paid in advance for the services not yet rendered. You may also receive a full refund for the Starlink kit if you return it undamaged within 30 days of receipt. There you go. Boom. Starlink subscribers can cancel their service anytime. And if you return their stuff within 30 days, you get full refund for the kit. But it's gonna be a little pricey though to get it. I think it's like I don't know what the startup cost is, but I would imagine it's gonna be like somewhere like around 200 or more. Also, I believe they have two different versions now, and you might want to go for the more upgraded version because it has a little bit better connectivity. But I don't know. I guess if you're just trying to make trades, the low grade model would probably be good enough. May you get a link? Starlink.com, man. Come on now. I'm not going to put it in the comment section. I'm not here to advertise other people's crap for them. The unemployment rate in the United States rose to 4.3% in July of 2024 from 4.1% in the previous month, the highest since October 2021, and above market expectations that it would remain at 4.1%. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, that I really feel it in my loins. I can feel it. Emergency rate cuts in August. Watch it be like right at the end of August too. They'll do it like I'm gonna try and pinpoint a day here. I'm gonna suggest that they do it on let me see. I'm gonna try and pinpoint an exact day. Hold on. Had this meeting on 2 days ago, right? Wednesday? 18th of September has got to be a Wednesday, right? Yep, it is. All right. I'm going to go with the 28th of August. Emergency 28th of August emergency FOMC meeting to raise rate or lower rates, by 25 basis points. There's an exact day for you. 28th of August. And watch Jerome Powell not have purple on. He'll have red tie. I can feel it down in my plums. Hawkeye's even giving it time, 12 p.m. No. They'll do it same time. Same time they always do it. 2 p.m. Announcement. Like it'll come through at Jerome Powell on the 20. What did I say? The 20. I gotta write this down. I'm going to forget. 28th. We're going to write this down. 8:28. 8:28 at 2:30 Eastern time. Red tie. I just wrote it down. 8:28, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, red tie. Robert, it's the whole market, buddy. You can't just focus on one individual ticker. You need to look at the whole big picture here. There's a lot of stuff going on right now in the marketplace. Yukon says this will be a sick prediction when it hits perfectly. Yeah, no kidding. I don't think I can. I don't know, man. It's the chances of me nailing this right on the head is going to be pretty tough. But if it happens, I got it written down. You can go back in time and you can see I said it. I've actually been saying this for just about a week now that they were going to do an emergency rating cut. But this is the first time I think I've gone on record as saying red tie and giving a date and time. Yeah, it's going to be nasty. It does look like the VIX just jumped from. You remember I told you guys 8 Holy crap, the VIX is absolutely skyrocketing. I told you guys 8% up on the VIX. It's now showing 11.24%. The VIX is taking off. That's nasty. That's really nasty. We're looking at like, I don't know, man. We're looking at like 3% down on some markets this morning. Holy crap! This is gonna be a fun day, guys. Just walk away today. Walk away. If it's hard for you to watch, because I know you all probably have some other investments and stuff like that, and whatever. I don't care what it is you have an investment in. Maybe you even have 401ks or IRAs that are going to be taking impacts from this. Walk away from it. Just walk away and this is not financial advice. Do what you want to do. It's your money. It's your choice. But sometimes, if you haven't already made the position and you make the position, you could change your positions to safety as best as you possibly can. But once you've done that, once you've prepared yourself for what's to come, walk away from it all and don't even look over your shoulder again. Do not look over your shoulder. Just walk away from it. If it's that hard to watch, if you're having a hard time stomaching watching it, then just walk away. Or have balls of steel and sit there and watch it burn and laugh. Yeah, Rugged says the Nikkei was down 5%. I know, man. I know. I submitted. Look, guys. You got to look at my post history on Twitter. 12 hours ago, I put Burning Ring of Fire. I put Ring of Fire by. That's all I posted. That was it. Just one thing. I posted a link to Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire. 12 hours ago. The exact time that I posted this up was 7:09. I knew 9 minutes after the markets had opened what was coming. Yeah, so this is exciting. I'm gonna have a real tough time being at a water park today and not looking at my phone. I'm gonna have a really tough time with that. I might have to jump in at some point or another and just jump in and say hi or something. I don't know. Chris says, "Oh, it's hard to watch, but I'm a glutton for this shit." Keto says, "Keto, good morning. Locked and loaded, been saving for 2 months without adding to my position." He's ready. Locked and loaded. We've got somebody protecting price right now. We got a $7,000 order at $498. I kind of let's see. Let me make sure I've got all my price predictions in. I've got text from. I'm not reading them, but I've got one from Nana. I've got one from text. So I'm assuming that they're probably the price predictions. I don't see. Let me check my Twitter account. I have one message. It is not. Apex. So I'm waiting on Apex. As soon as Apex gives his price prediction, I'll throw mine out there, and then we'll roll. We'll cruise on into market open. I'll do. I'm actually gonna do the intro for market open. I'll do. And then and we'll talk for like a few minutes, or we'll cover numbers. We'll cover numbers one more time. I can't do the 9 o'clock, but we'll cover numbers probably like really soon after the market opens. Because I can't. Because market opens 8:30. I can't. I've got to. Once I'm done with the market open, I got to call it a day. So it'll really be like a sign off. NVIDIA is part of the top Mag 7 so you can talk about that. Mag 7 is a pretty good indication as to, what's going to happen with the market. And all the Mag 7 are taking massive hits right now. Amazon down 10%, Apple down 1.5, Google down 2.26, Meta down 1.48, Microsoft down 2.25, Nvidia down 6.11, and Tesla down 3%. There's some major hits. Burning Ring of Fire, man. Ring of Fire. You know what? I know I thought of this in the past, but I need somebody to hop into the back of the big tramp here because we need to discuss this real quickly. Pirate, good morning to you. Ring of Fire,
my friend.
Good morning.
Man, I saw it yesterday. That's one of Sandy's all-time favorites. She's an AC/DC fan all through and through. But she has if there's a jukebox and it has a Johnny Cash Ring of Fire in there, she's going to put a quarter in that machine. And when I saw that yesterday, I was like, oh snap.
Yeah. That's all I posted because I was like, this is it.
Yeah,
It's
I even listened to it. I was like, listen to it. Yeah.
9 minutes into trading, when the markets opened, foreign markets open, I was like, oh shit, this shit's going down. So I posted that up. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fun tomorrow. We got to talk about the song here real quick. Is this about
thing?
Yeah. Is that about an STD?
No.
Are you sure?
It's positive. It fits. I get it. It fits, the whole burning one IP thing, but it's really about Johnny Cash. He's conflicted. He was an independent, wild Mustang, and June Carter, she put such a hold on him with love that it was he equated, falling in love to, basically falling into hell. Listen, you read the words to it, and it's a good song, man.
I know, that's why I'm asking, because I'm sitting there listening to it and I'm going like, this can't not be about some kind of sexually transmitted disease. It has to be. I'm like, this has got to be. Yeah. I'm like, because if you go back and you remember where that day when we played some of the really old classic songs from 20s and 30s and stuff like that. Do you remember that? I played some stuff they were dirty back in the day. They were really, really dirty back in the day. There's some dirty stuff.
I remember that content. We had some fun with that. Yep.
And I'm talking about it'll make you blush kind of dirty. Even today, and you go like, man, if they were getting away with that kind of stuff back then, and then you listen to Ring of Fire, how is that not about an ST? I feel like, I feel like there's some kind of innuendo there. There's got to be.
No, and Johnny Cash was incredibly religious. He was just steeped in the Christian theology. So the concept of hell was real to him, and all of his, exposure to religious music and songs in church and all that played a role in it as well. But no, it put a big smile on my face when I seen you post that, especially coming from you, knowing that you have a particular aversion to country music, which perhaps you give Johnny Cash a pass, even though he's kind of rockabilly, I guess. But, you get cool points for posting that, at least in my house.
Well, thank you. I do like that song, and I have I have my exceptions that get in there, so that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, he was definitely one of a kind and a true rebel. He's got that iconic photograph of him giving the finger to the photographer. And if you look at the expression on his face, it's not something that was done through an attempt to fit a mold or to be the stereotypical punk rocker. He was, I think he even has his lips pursed where he's beginning to mouth the words F you. Yeah. It's out there somewhere. You people look for it. You'll see it's black and white photograph.
Jay says he met Johnny Cash. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm insanely jealous, man. Yeah. Insanely jealous. Yep.
That's awesome.
Well, I didn't see. I'll tell you how out of touch I am. When he came out with the song "I Hurt Myself Today," which was, I think, one of the last things he covered.
Well, that's not his.
I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. So I'm going with this. I'm going to do a mea culpa here.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I thought it was his work. I didn't realize it was a cover song. I was like, man, the old man is going out with a banger. One last time, he's going to show everybody he's still got the pipes. And then somebody else in my orbit said, hey, that's Chris Cornell or I can't remember who the original singer was. They said, you know that.
Nine Inch Nails.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't think of his name now. Yeah.
But they quoted the guy's name, and they said, you know, that belongs to him. And I was like, really, as a cover? And they're like, oh yeah. And then sometime later, I saw a note on YouTube or something where the original songwriter said, I guess that song no longer belongs to me.
Yep.
And I thought, man, what
Trent
a
Reznor.
powerful.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you, sir, for saving me, Trent Reznor. I'm like, what a powerful thing to say about a guy that when you wrote this, I'd be like me coming out with a country rendition of Buy and Hold, and later on you were to say, yeah, I guess that song's no longer mine.
Yeah.
Thinking, man, that's there's no higher accolade that you could give a singer.
All I had to see was Rugged type in Trent, and as soon as I saw him type Trent, I was like, oh, that's right, Trent Reznor. Came back to me.
I slept in this morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I couldn't wait to get to you guys. So
I'm out of here early, so it's good. It's good that you came in.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave. I think we talked about it. We're gonna leave right around 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna do the morning intro for Market Open, and then I'm out because I gotta go mad dash upstairs and throw on a bathing suit and.
Real Rugged's going to fire up the emergency backup generator, the redundant system, and he's going to turn his machine on. And I'll sit next to him. I'll sit at his broadcasting booth next to him and see if I can lend him a hand, and we'll make it through to the closing bell. I'm sure you're going to be conflicted today. I can tell you what your fortune's going to look like. I'll do a Johnny Cash thing.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
You're going to be spending a lot of time in the bathrooms. I predict that you're going to need a lot of bathroom breaks today because I know you can't linger on the phone without gathering the ire of the family. You're like, it's family time, and you're hanging out with the internet. But I foresee you going to the bathroom a lot today.
I had Panda Express 2 nights ago.
Perfect excuse.
And my fortune, and let me read my fortune to you. It says, in due time, you will be financially comfortable.
Wow. Well, there you go. So then
that was my fortune.
So let it be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Chris Taylor said his favorite song is 5 Feet High and Rising by Johnny Cash. And for those of you who don't know, Johnny Cash, his father was a sharecropper, like one step above being practically a slave in the day. And they would farm other people's land for a piece of the harvest, and the Mississippi Delta was known to flood out, and I guess if it flooded, it wiped out their crops. And this was a time before they had crop insurance and all of that. And he wrote a really famous song called 5 Feet High and Rising about it. I'm with you, Chris Taylor. That's a fine song. My apologies for interrupting you, Rugged. Good morning.
Good morning, Rugged.
Good morning. How you doing? I watched a disturbing video last night. It was actually on CNBC, which I hate usually, but how these Russian traders were coming in and hacking like financial releases in advance. They were accessing. Before numbers get released, they were actually able to gain access. It seems this could be pretty. Apparently, it's just what it was said is that this is just a little snippet, a snippet of what's really going on.
Yep.
And I keep saying to myself, I know we all tend to place blame on market makers and things, hedge funds or whatever, but brokers. But I also think that there's some other characters involved that are abroad. I think because how do you stop it? How do you actually stop that? How do you prevent it?
So you're of the opinion that financial warfare is very, very much a real thing, and we're involved in economic attacks on you.
Why not?
Back in 2021, I don't know if you remember this or not, but the SEC changed some guidelines on when they could halt the entire market. One of the guidelines that changed was if there was an international foreign entity that would be influencing the market in certain ways. If they detected that they would be able to shut down the market. A lot of people, including myself, and I know you're gonna want to assume that that's the case. A lot of people, including myself, I believe. I'm not going to throw anybody else under the bus. I'm going to say I believe. I believe that they're going to use that as an excuse to be able to shut down the markets. I don't think I think that it is a problem, but I don't think that it's nearly as much of a problem as to undermine Aladdin and suggest that somebody could come in and small potatoes come in contrast to what the rest of the market trades in quantities of volume and value. I think is a gross misunderstatement of what's truly going on, and so I don't think that that there's as much of an issue there as what they would be suggesting, and that's simply a way for them to be able to manage or control volatility, severe volatility in a marketplace.
Never let a crisis go to waste.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think the interesting thing behind that is that all of those rules changed in 2021 after the January run up, and so to me, that was kind of like, oh, well, then they think that means this is going to happen again, and they want to be able to blame it on something other than what's actually really truly happening, and so like, oh well, we'll just we'll say like, oh, there's a foreign entity that's responsible for what's happening, and we need to halt the markets. And I've a long time suggested that they will halt the market at some point or another for at least a week. I think there'll be like 5 days of trading that doesn't even happen. I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you, I'm ashamed I can't speak to this, but how long after 9/11 did the trading go down? Was it a day?
I want to say it was 3 days. We looked at this before, but let me go back and check.
I know we did, and I apologize.
No, that's all
my
right.
memory fails me, but that is the most recent event that I could think of that was as close to like a Pearl Harbor type event that you would think would be of a scale that would warrant like shutting the systems down.
4. It was 4 trading days. I said 3, but I think it was
So
4
that
trading days.
When you say a week, you might not. That's not hyperbole. Then
Nope.
It's very possible that it could be a 5-day week.
Yep.
March 2020 was kind of rough, but yeah.
Let's see here. History of notable market halts. We have. Let's go to the most current ones. March of 2020 was how many days?
I don't know if it was days, but I don't know if they halted the whole market then.
Okay, it looks like I need to scroll back to March 9th. Okay, Monday morning halt and eventual reopen led to an all-day event of chaos. This is March 9th of 2020. Let me see here. It began with the coronavirus fears and what the spread of the virus could mean for the global economy. Let's see here. Just 3 days after a market halt earlier in the week, trading was halted yet again. Tensions from growing coronavirus concerns and sudden news about the spread, the WHO announcing a pandemic. I don't see where it says how many days. It may have not been days. It says 15 minutes for market halt.
I don't think it was a full.
There was
close.
2 15-minute market halts, it says. After trading resumed, the S&P 500 has to increase its decline to 13% in order to trigger a second halt. That halt once again lasts for 15 minutes. Once trading is resumed for the second time, a third level 3 trigger requires the market to reach a 20% decline Once that happens, trading is halted for the third and final time. It does not continue for the rest of the day. Doesn't look like that happened, though. But anyways, those 2 days happened. There was a few-hour halt in July 8th of 2015. Let's see, December 1st of 2008
Yeah.
was another one, but it doesn't say on this one either how long that was for. And then we already talked about 9/11, 4 days. But yeah, yep.
I'm getting reamed real good here. Casey, tell you what.
The fact that they're mentioning this on the mainstream media about what it is that you just said tells me that they're building the narrative for it. They're building the ability to be able to use that as a
Sure.
point to be able to use to try and halt markets. So, if it happens, don't panic. It's okay. Life continues on. Yeah, life goes on, and we just keep on punching forward.
We have to.
See, the U.S. Treasury, the 10-year still falling, 3.858.
Oh, yeah, I think Yukon said he linked me on that.
Yeah.
I don't see
still
it, though.
falling.
Let me see. Yukon,
The only reason I know is that they got a banner on the CNBC. It says gold at record high is the banner, and then right above it, it shows the 10-year Treasury collapsing. You don't have to be a Nobel Peace Prize winner in economics to know what picture that paints.
Yukon, I don't see your message to me at all. Yeah, oh my gosh, they did. Good call. There it is.
Yeah.
Look at the spread between the 2-year and the 10-year. What is that spread? Hold on.
Yesterday at close, it was like 0.2, 0.21 or something.
0.2, 208, 208 or 205, somewhere right around there. Yeah.
So it's narrowing. It's even narrowing even more. Yeah, it's closer together than it's ever been.
0.096
during this inversion. Yeah.
0.096. It is getting so close. Oh my gosh, it is getting so close. It's dropping and normalizing it all at the same time. Oh, I got chills. I got chills.
Yep.
It's so close. And then MMRI this morning.
My friend Food Dog is smiling because I called this to him almost a solid year ago, 13 months ago. I painted this scenario for him, so he's got to have a big smile on if he's lurking.
Yukon, I don't see a DM from you, man. Did you post it in like the general or? Because I got no DMs from you. Maybe put it in the back of the Big Tramp. Yeah, I got nothing.
I've got this Target shopping bag here, and my rectum's in there. It's just in the bag, and it's still attached to me, but it's gotta bring it to the doctor or walk-in clinic and see if they can patch it back up or something.
Pisses me off that I feel like my DMs are like delayed or something, and it's there it is. Okay, I just saw what you posted in the general, but I did not get a DM. Tentative auction schedule. Let's go to. Where am I posting this up at? Can I just open it? Damn it! All right, here we go. You know what? I think I need to go hit the restroom real quick. Let me take a look at this in just a second, guys. I got to go hit the restroom. I haven't hit the restroom since I drank coffee here this morning, so I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Love is a burning thing.
That's it, boy.
Yeah, today could wind up being quite fun.
And
Yeah, that's crazy, Derek. KC just mentioned it. Somebody else pointed it out too. I think 21.5 or something on that line. But yeah, I think we're off to the races here. Moonlit Riff says he had the Johnny Cash middle finger poster sized and framed on his wall. If that's the case, and Moonlit, I choose to take people at their word on here. I believe you, and you definitely get a minimum of 3 cool points for that. So that's the lowest the 10-year Treasury has been since December of 2023. So it's worth paying attention to.
Oh, all right. I feel so much better. All right, it's 8:07. I got a little bit of an extra long intro. I got a special for you guys. It's a double header day today on a Fuzzy Friday. 2 different songs I wanted to play because I like them both. Felt like they were both good because we got to have fuzz one day, for one of the songs. Other song's not so fuzzy, but Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. I'm just waiting
to tell you, Casey. I've picked up a rather nasty habit since I've been hanging out with you on here.
Uh-oh.
You know, I go to great lengths to make fun of Tech We Love because of his affinity for the saying, or you know what I mean. And I made a drinking game out of it, and I poke fun of him relentlessly. But I've found myself I self-identified. I have a similar affliction I picked up on here lately. When I'm making a comment or at the end of one of my never-ending dialogues, I've picked up a habit of saying like I'm going to continue the thought and add something else to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You just did it.
It's like there you go. It's like a stutter. It's like my brother had a stutter, and I told you I used to teach him of that. So my reflection upon that has led me to try to. There you go. I did it again. To try to find a way to mitigate that. So
you know what it reminds me of though? It's like a pilot when they're doing they're flying and they get we're currently flying over Arizona.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like a way to string on a sentence.
The other day, I thought, Ronnie, you are such a hypocrite. You bust his balls all the time for defaulting to that. You know, and I'm like, you're doing the same exact shit. And what it is a attempt to continue speaking, but I don't have another thought, and that's bad. That's very selfish and ugly. So I'm going to try to work on that. I just thought you'd get a kick out of it that I have identified that, but it's new for me. That hasn't always been the case. That's not normally part of the way I talk in real life. So there you go. Self-critique.
I took a speech and debate course in college. It wasn't speech and debate. It was just speech. I think it was just a speech class.
Public speaking?
Yeah, public speaking, I think. And they said that you should never say or
Exactly. Yeah.
And it was really funny because when that was happening was about the time when Obama was inaugurated, I think, if I remember correctly. What years did he serve? Do you remember?
I'm afraid I can't recall.
All right. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it was Obama, and he does it so much when he's talking all the time. And I had a real problem with the fact that the teacher was sitting there saying, you can't do uhs or ums or anything like that in there. I'm sitting there watching this, somebody who's being elected as president who literally does it on a constant basis. And I'm sitting there going like, I don't think that you get judged for that. I think that's a part of the way that you talk, and it's not something that you can't fault somebody for doing that. That's just part of how people talk. And I don't think people.
I think it's the teachers' way to keep people who are habitual users of it. I took a military speaking class. It was the same type of class you took, and the instructor said, everyone gets an A in this. You have to speak for 5 minutes. There you go. I just did it. You have to speak for 5 minutes, but if you say or your grade gets lowered by 1 point.
Yep, that's what it
all
was.
All the way down to failure. And
yeah.
it was a funny thing to see people who could not speak 5 minutes. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Brian just said 2009 to 2017 is when Obama was in office, and I think I took the class in 2010. So, yeah, I wrote that in the comment section. But yeah, that's I believe it. That's it. I'm doing it constantly now. Now I'm gonna.
Like I said, I was not trying to make it all about Pirate first thing this morning, but I bust his balls on it so bad, and I thought it would be only fair if I point out to others that I fell to a similar affliction. Yeah, it's going to be ugly. Now that I've brought it to everybody's attention, I'm going to catch all kinds of heat for it. But that's it. So be it. That's fair enough. Maybe it'll help me break it.
All right.
Enough of that. Enough about me.
All right. I got my price prediction in. I'm just waiting for Apex, who, let me check my messages. I do not see a message from him. I don't see a message from him yet. I'm still waiting on Apex before I can list off everybody's price predictions. So I'm ready to go. I want to try and start this the beginning intro portion of this, and it's going to kind of be an outro because I'm not going to be able to stay around after I get done with the intro. But I want to at least start it off so we can all kind of witness together the mayhem that's going to take place. I'm seeing VIX right now at 21.23 showing up, but this is really, really bad on Webull about reporting live, but the futures are suggesting that the VIX should be somewhere around 1908 or higher, and it's up 9.24%. It did come down a little bit. It was like 13% earlier, but it's not looking. There he is. All right. Apex is going straight for the $5 cutthroat number. I knew you were going to pick something really round. All right, Apex is going
no shame to his game.
Yeah, 450 to 550. I knew that was coming, and the reason I made my prediction when I made it is because I knew somebody was going to do this. So I'm actually going 448 to 548. So I'm going 2 pennies lower than the $5 mark. 550. And let me see. I don't know what Nana and Tech is doing yet. The Nana is going 442 to 542. She's going for the 492 target. 442 to 542. 442 to 542. And Tech is going 505. So we're all very, very, very close here. So he's going to go for 455 to 555. Very, very close numbers here between all of us. Nana with the low end of the totem pole, Tech with the high end. There is a 10. Let's see. What do we? Nana's got the low end, 42. 13-cent spread between us. So price predictions are in. I kind of want to get the intro started early. I know I don't normally start it until a few minutes before market opens. But I have 2 songs. It's a doubleheader song today, and I have to get taken. I have to leave by 9 o'clock this morning, so I got to get out of here quick. So I'm gonna start the intro process. As soon as I get done with the intro, I'll go straight back into the back of the big tramp. We can take a look at a few numbers here and there. We'll take a look at things like Ortex and stuff like that, and see where it's kind of heading. Before I got to go. get ready for the day. So I will. I'm gonna start the intro. I'll see you guys on the other side of market open.
When the nights are getting cold and you're needing a shoulder, puff out your chest and be a little bolder. All we do, we buy and hold. There will be shittles who wanna steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold to the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. Panic and fear really are near, but it's not ours to own. We have shown that all we do is buy and hold. There will be shittles who wanna steal your thrills. There will be friends who hold to the end. There will be doubt, fear and cloud, but it's all in your head. Those hedges are dead. So when the night's getting colder and you're needing that shoulder, these apes got your back. We got each other. 'Cause all we do is we buy and hold.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. All systems are go. We're about 90 seconds to the launch of Space Shuttle Discovery. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We are transferring to orbiter internal power at this time. Discovery is now running off its 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start. And we have a go for auto sequence start. Discovery's onboard computers have primary control of all the vehicle's critical functions. T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, start, 2, 1,
booster ignition, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Discovery, returning to the space station, paving the way for future missions beyond. Solid rocket booster separation confirmed. Guidance now converging. Discovery's onboard computers commanding the main engine nozzles to swivel, aiming the shuttle for its precise target in space for main engine cutoff.
Should have a good forward leg now at S10.
Okay, you sound good.
Discovery Houston, negative return.
Copy, a negative return.
I saw a light just up ahead, but I couldn't seem to rise up from my bed. I'm not alone, and then I am. These people seem to think I'm Superman, but I was for the love. I'm living in the day of the eagle of the love. Like a wind that brings me down. If I don't move, I'm on the ground. It's in my mind, it's in my soul. It's telling me the things I can't be told. It says, what for the love? Living in the day of the eagle of the dove.
Good morning, you filthy apes. Welcome to AMC with KC, where we buy, we hold, and we screw those hedgies. Screw 'em! That's right. This is where we like to fling crowns, fling poo, and eat crowns for breakfast. Rock strong. It's gonna get into a habit. I'm not gonna stop myself from being able to say it wrong. Oh man, we're flinging poo, eating crayons. That's it. Come on, Casey, get it right. The title for the day is "We Didn't Start the Fire." Burn, baby, burn. You got a double header song for the day today. I felt like it was only appropriate. There was last night at around 9 minutes after 7 my time, which is about when the markets open internationally. I posted a song up. I posted "Ring of Fire" by Johnny Cash. I was watching the international markets just absolutely blow the F up at that time, and I knew it was going to happen for today. And we're in for one hell of a ride today, guys. But I'm unfortunately going to be leaving with my family to go to Schlitterbahn. We're going to the water park, and I'm not going to let I'm not going to let this steal away from my life. So I'm going to go enjoy my time with my family. And but we're going to cover some numbers real quick here, and then I'm out. I'm checking out for the day, and I will see you guys back on Monday. It's just one day after another, right? It's always fighting for what it is that we believe in. And I will mention a couple quick notes of things that were happening yesterday. Obviously, we saw that there was some shares that were purchased, and I think they might have been. I haven't really checked into it because I haven't looked into the. I was spending some more time on a DTCC notice that was issued a while back in June for today, but. It does appear that there is some, perhaps maybe some notes purchased or converted for AMC shares that were purchased by some of the investors who are renegotiating our debt, and so AMC may have written off some debt here, and maybe they'll be able to share that with us in the meeting later today after market close. So don't forget that today is the market close meeting. Also, we have our questions that we had submitted. Maybe we'll be lucky enough to be able to hear our questions get read, at least one or maybe two of them. And so it's gonna be a fun day today. Interesting stuff going on. The DTCC notice that I'm referencing to you guys. Let me share that with you guys real quickly here because there was a little bit of weird kind of FUD going around on it. I'm not sure exactly why people were saying what it was that they were saying, and I think it's because they're maybe misreading it a little bit. But they're talking about like unlimited failure to delivers on shares being delivered for exercise option contracts starting tomorrow. That's not how I'm reading this at all, and I'll explain to you what I'm seeing. Probably let's start here, I guess. On Friday, August 2nd, 2024, which is today, the National Securities Clearing Corporation will be making a system change to automatically exclude an option clearing corporation trade-for-trade balance order from the obligation warehouse reconfirmation and pricing service, which is called recaps. That reconfirmation and pricing service is the way I would describe it is it's an in-house service that's provided by the NSCC for settlements. That verifies that the everything's kosher. And if you wanted to think of it as like a banking type system, banks will always confirm that the transactions went through. This is that confirmation service that they provide for all trades to make sure that the settlements between two different parties went through correctly. It says, additionally, the system change will prohibit an OCC TFT balance order from being included in the recaps process. Further details about this are below. And so we'll read the next part about this. But basically what they're going to say here is like, we're going to allow the two parties, the two participating participants in this transaction to be able to do this settlement without our interference. The NSCC is saying we're not, well, the DTCC, who is part of NSCC, who is part of DTCC, is saying we're not going to provide the service of bean counting here. We're going to let the two parties handle it, and we're going to give it our seal of approval and basically say like, yeah, it's done. And it's to expedite or be efficient in the process of settlements. And I'll tell you why I think that might be the case. But let's continue to read on here. It says, An OCC TFT balance order is from a trade submitted by the OCC to the NSCC for option exercise and assignment activity in a security that is either not continuous net settlement CNS eligible, or 2, CNS eligible but undergoing a voluntary corporate action being supported in CNS. The OCC maintains the guarantee on the trade, so this is where they're saying, like, we guarantee that everything's happening the way it's supposed to, submitted to the NSCC until the two counterparties confirm to the OCC that the balance order has settled. By excluding an OCC TFT balance order from recaps, it ensures the counterparties to the original OCC submitted trade always remain the same. So they're saying the two counterparties are gonna make their transaction. We're not going to do the bean counting, and there's reasons for this that may have to do with things like being expedient in their transaction. And so when asked about this yesterday, my response to this was, I'm no expert in notices. Hold on a second here. I'm no expert in notices like this, but it sounds like somebody wants to avoid recaps to keep the settlement parties the same to expedite the settlement process. I guess if they are mandated to deliver by a certain date, including the recaps as part of the settlement process might delay the settlements. Perhaps a complex settlement of exercise positions is about to happen. So essentially, that should build kind of like a case for you about, like they got to get this settlement done. Maybe they have a time frame that they have to get it done by, and including any kind of bean counting is going to hold that up. And so they're not gonna include that in there. So I don't know where the whole FTD thing, like unlimited FTDs tomorrow, it's not what I'm reading out of this. So, but I just wanted to kind of mention that because I know there might be some anxiety, maybe perhaps from people who are reading through that and seeing what it was that people were commenting. I don't see anything there that scares the crap out of me at all. VIX to 25. Holy crap! Please tell me you're kidding. I mean, is it really? Hold on. Oh, I see 2151, but I'm not saying you're not right because Weeble is always late in reporting on this crap. So see, jumping past 19 is pretty big. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. This is the day. Yay! Hold on to your butts. It's on here, and that'll be an interesting jump to see. All right. Futures. What are futures on VIX? 1888. All right. 1893. It's driving up on futures. There's going to be some interesting stuff going on today, guys. Very, very interesting. What will the AMC price close at? I am suspecting that there's going to be a little bit extra volatility today, and hence a little bit more volume. The pre-market was suggesting that as well. We had about 150, 160,000 shares going into the Pokey Stick, or with the Pokey Stick this morning, but we had like 60,000 of it showing up in the pre-market volume, and majority of it didn't come from the Pokey Stick like usual. So that could kind of point towards a larger volume traded day today. I went ahead and gave a prediction of 15 to 35 million, which is about 10 million higher than what I've been doing for a prediction lately. I'm pretty sure we'll see more than 15 million shares at some given point today. I'd like to see price improvement. I'm not exactly thinking that's going to be the case with Max Payne being at $5. I think they're going to actually try and close the price lower. And it's not. It kind of sucks to see lower price, higher volume, but I mean, today's is just a burning down the house kind of day, and that's going to be the way that it is. And AMC will AMC and a lot of other stocks that are part of being heavily shorted will see downwards momentum with the rest of the market initially. So not even fazed by this at the least. Okay. VIX 25 was your hope. No, it didn't happen. Okay. All right. Well, I'm still seeing VIX right now at 2106. There it is. There's your jump to 2141 showing up on the page now. So it definitely gapped up above 19. The next major push, and sometimes these gap ups can actually happen fairly quickly, as I discussed earlier this morning. These gap ups between 19 and 35 can take a week or less. A week to about 3 weeks in order to get to jump up past 35. So 5 trading days, and I've got this on a 1 minute time interval right now. But if I move this to a daily time interval, you can see here that it's gapping up quite a bit here, jumping past that 19 point. There's obviously going to be they'll probably try to crush this down as much as possible. But in the past, historically speaking, whenever we break past 19 like that, here's 2020 where it broke past 19 and it just kept on shooting up, and it took about 3, 4, by the fifth day it had broken solidly past 35. So 5 trading days or more, or maybe somewhere between 5 and 15 trading days. And if this continues to drive upwards the way that it is, we could see a major break past that 35. Do note that I've got 2 different levels of resistance here for the VIX. One of these points here had this little move involved, and I took this from this trend analysis came from March of 2023, the secondary touching point being this one. I didn't even use this one, being this one right here. And this is actually back in February of 2024. And then once that broke happened, I kind of highlighted it here for you guys, and we got a break to 19, but then they crushed it back down again. This other point over here stems from also that same, one of the points is from that same exact point that I used in March. But the other one relies on a point, one of the higher points that we saw back in January of 2022. And so you can see there's been multiple touch points along the way going down here. And ultimately we're finding that it is absolutely breaking past that now. So a strong break past this level of resistance here could signify that it's going to start leaping beyond things like 35 or further. So that's all the time I got for the day, guys. I gotta get out of here. I'm hearing doors starting to shut around the place in the house, and that means it's my cue to get out of here so I can go get ready and head to the water park. We're supposed to leave in about 15 minutes. So if anybody doesn't have, let me head over to the back of the big tramp real quick here to say my goodbye. If there's anybody in there, yeah. I meant to be quicker, but I was slow. Audio Tits, Pirate, good morning, and I think I'm going to be heading out here. You guys are in capable hands.
All right.
I will...
Good morning, sir, and thank you for the send-off.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. How's the Mag 7 doing? Mag 7... There's one green on the Mag 7. We got Amazon down 10%, Apple's up 2.5%, Google's down 1.7%, Meta's down 0.5%, Microsoft down 1.85%, Nvidia down 3.22%, and Tesla is down 1.27%. Somebody mentioned that Tesla is under investigation by the Department of Justice. I did hear about that. Kind of interesting stuff going on there. Keeman says, when did the margin call start? I can't tell you that. I would have to know the financial status of all the participants who would potentially be margin called, and there's no way for me to know that information. I have no idea. When you know shit's going down when people start walking out with their shit packed up in boxes, and you see it being reported in the media. That's how you know. You know it's over at that point.
For those of you who don't already know, we have on the rare occasion that Casey takes care of his family business and shuts the stream down, we have a backup channel. Papa Mac has a stream. It's by no means what we have here. We lack technical analysis and numbers, but it gives us a place to gather and watch the major indices, and particularly AMC, and then the usual banter. So feel free to join us there after Casey winds this up. It's a suitable substitute. It's pale in comparison. Prepare yourself. If you're used to the T-bone steak that KC serves here, we're serving hot dogs over there.
Well,
it's just as fun.
If Papa Mac wants to put in the link to that, he's more than welcome to.
Oh, very nice.
If he wants to put the link real quick to his thing, go for it.
Well, we did it way back when we first set all this up. We did it, but we talked and we felt like it started to appear like we were milking. When I say we, I mean the rest of us who gather there when you're gone. We didn't want it to look like we were consistently milking your viewership. And even though you knew that wasn't what was going on and we didn't, we were afraid that others might think that was the case. So, and full disclaimers, people, this is just a ad hoc or a roughly thrown together place for us to gather on the rare occasions that Casey's not with us. So there you have it.
just kind of scrolling through a bunch of the different stocks here just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on before I leave. Amazon taking some hits. Cinemark's up 8% right now. We do have some crypto movement upwards.
We usually have a pretty strict protocol about respecting your privacy when you're not with us. You give so generously of your time over the course of the 3 years. We've, as a matter of honor, we try to give you your space when you're not with us. Do you have any specific instructions on how wild things should get before we break that protocol and start sending you emergency messages?
No, I stay on top of
Okay.
stuff.
Okay. All right. Fair enough then.
Yeah,
we'll take it on faith that you are aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Enough said. I just want to make sure we need to make sure our standing orders are clear. When the captain's gone, we'd like to know what your wishes are. So
yeah, I don't I don't usually let things slip by me, but I mean it does happen. It does happen, but I don't usually let things slip past me. So just know there's going to be a lot of volatility today, guys, in the market, and it's still just another day for us, right? There's nothing crazy and unusual, nothing different. It's just another day, and if you're having a hard time watching the rest of the market burn because maybe you have 401ks or IRAs that are taking hits right now from other investments that you may have. If you haven't already positioned yourself into a safe position on those, you could. I don't want to give you financial advice. It's up to you how you manage your money. That's your choice. But at some point, whether you make a change in your positions or you don't make a change in your positions, you need to walk away. Walk away from it all and just let it burn. Let it burn. It's going to happen one way or the other, with or without you. And sometimes, if you find for you that it's causing you mental distress, walk away. For me, it doesn't faze me. I feel like enough of us have been around here for 3 years now, and it's like, most of you guys should be pretty seasoned in being able to take this. So, just enjoy it, sit back, let the world burn around you, and drink a glass of sweet tea and laugh. Laugh your ass off, because it's what we've been talking about for a long time. All right. We got to go. I'll see you guys later.
We're done here.
Yep.
I'll see you all on Papa Mac's YouTube stream. For those of you who can't find it, just do a search on YouTube, Papa Mac. And those of you who been there before, you know the way. We'll see you there. Right. Enjoy your day, KC. We hope you have a wonderful time with your family.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. It is that time of the day for me. As usual, all good things must eventually come to an end. Eat, sleep, drink, get plenty of rest. Tomorrow is another trading day. No, it's not. You have a weekend ahead of you. You have 2 days off, and then you have Monday that you get to come back and enjoy some things. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your friends. Take your pets out for a walk because they like getting outdoors too. And for crying out loud, go see an AMC movie this weekend because after all, that's what we're here to do is help support our company, AMC. Don't forget about the shareholder meeting after market closes. Don't have a good weekend. Have a great one. Beep, beep.